Chicago Network is on the air. Hello, everybody. I am Ryan Yannishatis, and it's time to focus. And we're going to focus today on the Northwestern Wildcats. They had their bye week. That's done with. Now it's time to focus on the second half of their schedule, the Big Ten schedule. Of course, they lost a tough one to Washington where they really weren't in it. The offense looked terrible. The defense was rough, and then they had to go. The quarterback, Jack Lausch, didn't play very good. So, overall, not the best game for the Northwestern Wildcats going into their bye, but they're back home. They're back home at their temporary field, which is a lot of compliments. It seems like everyone that has been there has enjoyed going there, and they're going to be facing in Indiana. And Indiana played a very big game, of course, this past weekend. Watched the highlights of it. Indiana defeated Maryland 42-28 this past weekend, so they played very good in their game in the Big Ten matchup, and they looked very strong. The running game was very good. But also Curtis Rourke, their quarterback, 22 for 33, 359 yards, 3 touchdowns, did have 2 interceptions. One of the interceptions early on, it looked like he was throwing a deep pass, and it was wide open, caught by the defender of Maryland. So, that's not what you really want, but I think this is still a very good team. They're 4-0. It could be one of the better teams in the Big Ten, obviously. So I think this is going to be a really tough game for Northwestern. Northwestern 2-2, but again, with the bye, are they going to figure things out? Are they going to go back? We don't even know yet. Are they going to go back to the first quarterback, or are they going to stick with Jack Roush? It'll be interesting to see where they go with there. Is Cam Porter going to be back? That's another thing. Again, with the run game, wasn't the same in that game against Washington because their senior running back was hurt. So that kind of took away from it a little bit. So we'll see what exactly we get out of the Northwestern Wildcats. He didn't look like he was on the injury report. Hopefully he's back because I think Northwestern needs him to be any kind of success. Because you can't just take. That's probably why Washington sniffed it out because they didn't have a run game when your senior star running back Cam Porter's not in there. So I think Washington sniffed that out, and that's why Jack Lausch didn't have the best game. He had a really good second half when he got comfortable in that first game that he played in. But that second one against Washington wasn't very good, so hopefully he can wipe all that away and have a really strong performance against Indiana. That'll a 2:30 start on the Big Ten Network, but it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. I know Northwestern had a good second half of the year last year that kind of made them bowl eligible, so we'll see if they'll be able to try to do something here. They're going to need one of these big wins against the Big Ten. Can they do it at home at Indiana or against Indiana? Again, this is a really, really good team. And I think when you look at Indiana overall and Northwestern, at least these are two teams that are originally in the Big Ten, so we'll see if they'll be able to sniff it out as well. But again, with the bye this past week, hopefully Ross gets Cam Porter back in there. Hopefully Jack Lausch can go back if they are letting him play. Hopefully we'll see if that'll be the case. Are you going to go back to the first quarterback? So a lot of questions need to be answered here. So from David Braun, the head coach, we'll see if they'll be answered. We'll see if there's improvement when we do this show next week. I'm not sure. I think next week we'll be back to doing Tuesday for the Wildcats, but hopefully we'll be able to do that, and hopefully we'll be able to see improvement from this team. Hopefully it's not a blowout. You don't want to see blowouts. You want to see this team be able to play strong football at home. I know they got some games at Wrigley coming up, but not many games left here. They haven't played really many road games, so I'm sure they got a lot of road games coming up as well in the second half of their schedule. But the bye is done. Time for some football. Let's see how this team does. So the question is, how will Jack Roush do in his and after the bye? More time to practice. We'll see if he steps up. And is Cam Porter going to be starting as your running back? Because that lights it up. They have really good receivers. The offensive line, the defense has been pretty good for Northwestern, but we'll see what happens there. So all questions, we need answers. And they answer it 2:30, Big Ten Network coming up. And we'll see if they'll be able to answer it. So that is that for the Northwestern Wildcats. Again, I'm learning them, trying to learn the players, watching every week, so I know I'm not a big help, and it's going to be the same way with hockey. I'm going to learn with you guys as well with hockey. I watch them during their big days. Excited to check out Blackhawks. By the way, next week will be our first Blackhawks focus as the season starts. Looking excited to get back. I didn't watch much hockey last year, so when it comes to hockey and college football, never my two weaknesses. But I'm here. Please comment below. Share or like it. Please subscribe to the Hello Chicago Network. Do all that stuff, please, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, everyone that watches this show, and thank you very much. Of course, I know Monday we're ending baseball. Tuesday we gave you the playoff predictions. Wednesday and Friday are Bears, but right here in Northwestern. So I appreciate you guys watching the show. I'm babbling on, just trying to learn with you. So I'm excited. to see what else Northwestern can do, see if they can answer the questions. That'll do it for us here. Tomorrow we're going to focus on the Bears as they get ready to face the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. This is their easy portion of their schedule. They need to win. So we'll see if that'll be the case. Everyone have a great Thursday. I'm Ryan Yanishavitz from the Hello Chicago Network saying we are the focus of Chicago sports.